Okay, well, I was at the charity event again today, but I brought my tablet, so I got to watch that travesty. Um, First off, Cade York. Dear Cade York, why is it that you were the hero like the instant you got that 58-yard kick? And then after that, you Baker Mayfield? I mean, that's like a new term I'm coming up with, just where basically you come out looking really great because you got all the confidence in yourself in the world, and then you make like one mistake, and then everything after that's just like it's just snowball effect. In fact, right now I'm most anxious to watch Baker Mayfield playing in his game, which just seems to be a weekly occurrence after the Browns game. It's almost like some cosmic force out there was like, "Hey, by the way, you guys still have a crappy team. It's not as crappy because this guy's on this other team. Look how bad he is. I mean, he's toeing the bottom of the line with the QBRs these days." But it's just like, what am I looking at, Cade? I'm embarrassed that I said things to people about how good you were going to be, and you can't even do like mediocre things. I mean, Justin Tucker's out here. You ask him to do it, he does it. You ask any of these guys. I mean, I'm just let me personally apologize to Phil Dawson. I said one time that this could be the next Phil Dawson. I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sorry. This guy will never be you because he can't even be himself. So it's just like, what a travesty that is. Give me the doink guy. At least we have a funny term to use. At least I can make some doink videos afterwards or something. But what a bunch of crap. Our defense, I mean, yeah, they're stopping him at cool times and they're getting him just like, we'll give him the ball like right there on the 2 yard line and then somehow stop them and hold them to a field goal. Like, fantastic. That's good defense, right? But then at the same time, we're giving up like 20 to 30 points a game. Like, that's not good defense. And why is it that in the end of every game, Jacoby just turns into an idiot? I mean, smooth passes all the time. You would think that these defenses were just playing around the whole game, and then all of a sudden in the last 5 minutes, they're like, all right, it's time to actually play defense. Like, we know it's going to destroy the Browns, but we won't do that at first. We're just going to sort of like do these other things, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 minutes of the game, we're just going to go and do the things we know that are going to destroy them. No, that doesn't happen. It's literally that they're doing the same things. They're trying to be tricky, and we're just like, okay, yeah, no, we're going to all of a sudden change what we do, and we're going to be stupid. It's just Jacoby. I mean, 3 times now? Like, please don't embarrass me for saying that you're like a sleeper. Please, like, live up to your Bill Belichick chose you pedigree and just start being smart at the end of the game. I don't know. I mean, even the commentators were saying it. Thank God we don't have to hear anything about how, like, 3 years ago or the last 20 years, we've had 66 quarterbacks and all that stupid stuff anymore. But now the commentators are on board with us. They're like, one play at the end of every game. One play at the end of every game. Although that when we let the Jets win, like, let's be honest, there were 6, 7 things that we really shouldn't have done. But honestly, Cade, you're like that idiot who comes to basketball practice and just starts shooting like half court shots the whole time. That's not practical. That's not practical. I don't care if you can hit these 70 yarders. I don't care if your leg's prosthetic and you can take it off and use it as a golf club. It's like the gimmicky stuff doesn't help us win. So just start kicking these kicks that anybody can make and just get them. I mean, I'm sorry. I probably couldn't kick a 54 yarder, but I feel like if you're the guy who wants to be the next Justin Tucker who's kicking 67, 70-yard, blah, 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 blah in practice, you should be hitting all these. All right? Mari Cooper, stud. Where did Njoku come from? I remember watching him in the HBO show. They're having him, catch these balls shot out of a pitching machine because he couldn't catch anything. And I would always say, like, stone hands, stone hands, stone hands. And then here we are. All of a sudden, it's like, dude can catch. Dude's in the right spot. I love what he's doing. I pretty much think that this team is starting to. I mean, had an identity in the run game for sure. I mean, Chubb just like takes the games these days and does whatever he wants, and Hunt's just like a savage out there. But as far as passing, we're always kind of confused. Like, we wanted Baker to do some kind of rollout thing, but he wasn't good at that. We wanted to kind of have him like stand in the pocket, make these easy throws. But Jacoby Brissett's doing the right things. He's running a couple times when he needs to. He's throwing the passes he needs to throw. He's hitting the people he needs to hit for the most part. I mean, I have not seen Anthony Schwartz out there for much of anything. So, I mean, somebody's at least really thinking about these things. But still, just in the end, we can't figure it out. I can't say that enough. These videos are all becoming the same video because I just keep saying the same thing. Like, when do we figure out how not to screw up in the end? When does that happen? But credit to a lot of these people for getting better. And, the fact that we had that guy. I can't remember. Was it Njoku? Might have been not Emerson. It was one of the newer guys. Um, anyway, he had that chase down on the field, and he saved that touchdown. I mean, that was clutch. But I mean, with field goals, if we actually hit field goals, if you guys look back and we make field goals and don't miss them, we win more games. These games wouldn't even be games. Like, why did you go for it with like 1 minute left and you're up by two and you're on their side of the field? That was like, this coach is trying to be a catastrophic failure of a coach, and somehow we let him live. But when we do stupid things like that, like against the Jets, people just go for the throat. Like, we need a killer mentality. That's what we're missing here. We need that killer mentality. And I know Garrett was gone for like the later portion of the game, but still, like, there's something missing here. We're one of those teams that you always hear about that figures out how to lose games. We need to figure out how to win games. And I'm cool if it's not this year because, again, we thought the Deshaun Watson experiment doesn't start till next year because of what happened. So this was just supposed to be a fluke. But damn it if I don't just get excited for these things. I mean, I should just stop making these videos and just start talking about the Indians. These guys weren't supposed to do anything, and they're showing up in all the moments. The Cavs, they weren't supposed to be anything either, and they're showing up in all the moments. How funny that we have Myles Garrett, Amari Cooper, Jadeveon Clowney. We have all these names that we can point to that we're like, that's a person, that's a person. Joe Johnson, that's a person, that's a person. But for some reason, we just can't do it. And then there's these other teams where, unless you're an Indians fan, you couldn't name a damn person on the team other than Jose Ramirez. And they're just showing up. It's like, I don't get sports, but I love them. I love this. I hate it, and I love it. But seriously, guys, like, stop making the game so damn close and losing. It's just become your thing, and it really just it gets my spots in my neck here. You see these here? These are the birthmarks. I mean, that's what happens when I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot, and it's just like, why? Just please, in the end of games, put your thinking cap on. I don't care if you got to wear your helmet backwards or whatever that means. Just something to jog your brain. Have somebody come over and punch you in the face. I don't know. Something to jog your brain, because this isn't working.